Okay. It's happening. What's today? It's Haul Out Day. There she is, a 77 25-foot Pacific Sea craft. She was due for a proper bottom cleaning, painting, and a few new through holes. We were only there Friday to Monday, working on limited knowledge, a few amateur tools, and a to-do list on hand. We couldn't afford a moment to waste. Okay, explain what we're gonna do first. We're gonna get the boat on blocks. There's no through hole. It's just
that could have sank the boat.
Hey, I'm Christy. This is Dave. We live on Oahu. This is our sailboat. We're super stoked to share our experience sailing around Hawaii with you. Welcome aboard, Kalea. Take it in well, don't blink twice, my eyes. We had a few moments to inspect the integrity of the hull as the yard boys went on lunch break and found we had between 70 to 100 blisters to repair. So once we were put on blocks, we immediately got to work. Liv and Dave popped each blister with something sharp and used a Dremel to remove the rotten portions. And as Liv and Dave were handling the blisters, I had to get the through hole situation sorted. We had to replace 4 existing through holes and add 2 more. Liv,
but I know, we're trying, Christy says you can just pull it out. How cool would it be if I got this out on camera? This is it.
It took about 20 minutes for me to realize I had no interest in changing the through holes myself, so I got into contact with the man of all men in the boatyard. He made 6 beautiful fiberglass backing plates and had the old through holes removed in a day. Honestly, I think he's a wizard. By the end of day 1, the through hole situation was resolved and the blisters were ready to be repaired. We had a few of our friends come out to help with repairing the blisters. We're so thankful for them and their willingness to help. We seriously couldn't ask for better friends. I don't think we could have gotten everything done without them. So thanks, guys. You're all incredible. Day 1 was a 13-hour workday, and we had no idea what we had coming for day 2.
And then,
what are we gonna do today?
They travel around and travel right.
Sanding and painting.
And all these things, just constant adventure. Really cool. I was like, I'll do you one better. I got 3 days off.
Day 2 of our haul out. We're getting a little bit of a late start, but we had to wait for the epoxy to set or cure, so we didn't have to get there early in the morning, which was nice. So we fixed a lot of blisters yesterday. We didn't have a ton, but I would say we had between 70 and 100. So that took some time, and it was kind of rushed, which sucks, but you know, we had to do it. And what else? We had a bunch of our friends come and help. Our neighbors are really nice. And the neighbor next to us, what's his name? Mark actually had the same boat, but he was younger. And he knows the first owner of our boat, like our specific boat. So that's really cool. And yeah, we're gonna do some bottom paint today. Hopefully we can get the sanding done. It's 8:44. We hope we can get the sanding done by like 11. A valuable lesson I've learned since having a sailboat is to never abide by a time limit on the water or on the hard. Things just don't ever seem to work out when you try to follow strict time limits. So we finished grinding and sanding around 3. Dave, Liv, Jake, and I managed to finish applying the first coat of paint by 4. The second coat went on about 4 hours later. Our boat is small enough that 1 gallon of anti-fouling paint covers 2 complete coats.
Hello. Hi.
So with anti-fouling paint, as the temperature drops, the wait time between coats increases. The third coat was supposed to be applied by 11 p.m., but it just wasn't dry. So finally around 1:30 a.m. on Sunday morning, we were able to apply the third coat of paint. We had a few more friends come out to help us with the third coat, even that early in the morning. I cannot believe how lucky we are to have friends like you guys. After a 20-hour day, we got home that night around 3 a.m. and passed out in seconds.
We're here at the boatyard. Day 3. And then
Day 3, Sunday morning. We successfully repaired blisters, applied 3 coats of bottom paint, and the through holes were almost finished. All there was left to do was sand and paint under the blocks and stands when we were lifted in the slings Monday morning. Although that's not ideal, we were working on limited time, so we did what we had to. I didn't have much planned for Sunday. In retrospect, there were lots of things we could have done, like fixing the topside paint job or revarnishing the neglected wood, but we were really, really tired. We arrived at the yard really early Monday morning with gifts for the men who showed us incredible hospitality and gave us advice in the yard. We couldn't have asked for a better first holiday experience at KMC, and we're super happy and relieved to have gotten everything we wanted to get done in a weekend. Once lifted, we sanded and painted beneath the stands and blocks. We had a new scupper through hole installed and needed to get all the tubing figured out before we could start the engine. So we splashed and were pulled over to a dock. Since our engine room beneath the cockpit is a little small, figuring out the placement of the tubing was a bit tricky. But around noon, we were ready to go. We kept the engine bay open to check out if everything worked properly and there were no leaks. But within seconds of starting the engine, I noticed the lubricating oil tube burst. Since it's an old engine, the part is no longer manufactured. We could have had a part fabricated, but I just didn't see the point, as we're in the market for an electric motor anyway. Don't know how I look. It's probably not great. We're back in the water this morning, around 9. We decided to check out the through holes, everything looked good, and we started the engine and immediately noticed a huge oil leak. Luckily, I had tow insurance and our slip was a less than 5-minute motor away. So that's it. We hauled out with minimal casualties, a little bit of lost sleep, and yet another reason to go fully renewable electric. In the next few weeks, we want to get a lot of projects done, so keep an eye out for more DIY videos. Click the bell so you never miss a beat. We have a lot of extra time on our hands because of the pandemic, so we'll try to spend a majority of it at the boat. 2020 has been a whirlwind of a year so far, and we're sending love to all of those affected by COVID-19. But if you liked what you saw, like, subscribe, and let us know what you'd like to see or know in the comments. Here's to a year of happy sails. With love, Christy and Dave.
I'm alright when you're in my sight. I'm alright when you're in my life.
Thanks for watching. If you like what you hear, check out our friend Cole on any music streaming platform. He's an incredible singer-songwriter from coastal New Jersey. We'll link him in the description below.